Hi everyone! After what seems like an absolute age, kids off school, and then a foster carer annual review, which means they like to come around your house, they like to sit and talk to you, so it's getting everything ready. I am back in my shed and everything is good. Yay! Trying to finish off some things, and so in between I'm making a folio for a lady. Hi Jill, if you're watching. It is coming on, I promise. I'm just waiting for things to dry. I was messing around with a folio, or it's not really a folio, it's a, if I put it under here, you can see on this, it's a notebook. Now it's, if I unwrap it, our 14-year-old, Paris, bless her, is doing art at school. So I'm thinking, but do you think I can get her to do any practice outside of school? Not a chance. So let's make a very easy notebook. It's full of watercolour paper and mixed media and sketch paper for her to sit with me and have a play in her own book. Well, that's the idea anyway. So I dragged her into the shed, much to her disgust. Sorry, Paris. And this is what we came up with. And it was very easy. I try to keep it simple. With kids, keep it short, keep it simple. So this is, I actually use craft paper for this. So it was just an A4 sheet of paper that we had great fun using a brayer. Now, I'm not very good at these. Well, when I say I'm not very good, I've not used it. So it was a learning curve for both of us, this one was. So I thought, okay, these are so quick and so easy from start to finish that I'd stick it on video and we could have a play together. Right, what I've got here is a sheet of, well, it's actually cereal packet. One is something I thought I'm going to make one for myself to take it, sit with her and to say, well, you can do this. It's actually a, there you go, cereal packet. Now you know what cereals the kids like. I have put a couple of coats of quite thick gesso on this just to try and cover up the Cheerios, other brands are available, of cereal on here. And then it was, I think what was fun for Paris in particular was just having a play and just getting really messy. So start off, right, I have got yellow ochre, burnt umber, what's this one? Raw sienna. Colours I like. If I bring them down, you can have a look. And then I've got some blue. These are my new favourite paints. Paper Artsy. Chalk acrylics. Really, really nice. So I've got a blue and I've got a Surf's Up. And this one is Spanish Mulberry. Kind of sort of chalky pink colour. Love them. Absolutely love them. But they are expensive. So it's a couple of months, I'm afraid. So if I give these a good shake, what I'm going to do is put it, so I've been watching tons of videos on this, how to do it properly, and the best one I came up with was putting a really small blob of paint on the side and just roll it out. And then I just love the mark making you can do with it. And it's like playing with inks. But so much more satisfying. Who knew? Now, because this one's for me, I can put on the colours I like. So my paint's all gone on there. The problem with these Americana ones is they don't dry particularly quick. I just hate the bits that come out. So a bit more paint. Actually, I quite like that colour. So a bit more of that one. I don't really want them to blend, so I've that one is, I think because they go on so thinly, they dry really quick, and I'm liking that. Right, so let's So I'm thinking I'm going to be doing probably a nature one, because I want to put some stamps on it. And it's, oh, that's interesting. I hadn't gessoed anything, papers before. I just gone straight onto cardboard, and it's picking up my marks off my brush. Oh, I like that. That almost looks like a weave pattern. I don't know if you can see that. Very nice. And right, this one's quite a thick one, this Winsor and Newton one. But let your inner kid out. Right. So spray a bit of water onto that. That's dry. So if I just spray a bit of water on, hopefully make it a bit more translucent and a bit more, except I think I've got miles too much on. Spread it out. There we go. Oh yes. Actually, it might not need the pinks. I did think this would be great as a present. I know the girls were looking at buying for their respective families, and they never have enough money saved up to buy presents for their moms. And so I'm thinking, right, this year we're going to make stuff. Oh, I do like the way that that's come out. Very nice. Oh, need a bit of tissue. Haven't got any. Got tissue. Now I want to put, because I want to put a completely different colour on. Let's just wipe that down. Don't trust that. That's better. Now that needs, that's still a bit damp. It's quite cold this morning, hence the scarf. I've got my little heater on. Now what do we think? Blue, pink. Ooh. Right, I quite like that colour, but I think it needs a touch of white. This is Winsor & Newton again, white. And it is really thick. So what I tend to do is put a small, so I've now gone off camera. I'm just going to zoom out so you can see more of what I'm doing. The one thing I did learn from watching all these videos was that you can, what they call, knock back things, so you can make it. I'm thinking I quite want to stamp a design on this. So just sort of perhaps take the edge off it a bit. I put white up there because I do tend to go back to the white. Like that. That looks good. And because I've added a ton of water to it. Yep. This is the, I can't decide. Do you know what? Let's be a devil. Let's go for the blue. This is Actually, this is quite an opaque one, so maybe just a very small bit of this, as in a few splashes and stick into the paper. I was hoping to try and sort of keep this a little cleaner. Let's move it down. Am I still in shot? Yes. Just a hint of blue. Is that? That's all gone now off the side. Right, and then we go back in. Oh, I've gunked up the lid. I really like this pink. Come on, roll. Gotcha. And then, so I'm going over the whiter bits. Need a little bit more. Gives your arm muscles a good workout, this does. And I think that have I used all my paint. I think that is about right, and then I can go back in after if I like with a bit more white, so I can do once it's all together and I can see whether or not I can actually, do you know what, I might see if this white is wet. No. Okay, I'm going to leave that. So that is the cover done. I'm going to go and grab all my scoreboard and stuff, and I will be right back. Right, everything is dry. I've decided, I was trying to work out, you know when you work out bits and you've got, forget that. How big do I want my pages? Where's easier? This bit of cereal packet is just shy of 12 inches long. I decided, because of my wisdom, I have been and actually cut some papers and put them together to go inside. These are 4 3/4 or just over now because of the overhang you get when you fold them all together. So I'm going to make this one 5. So easy. So 5 is the middle, 10 is the end, and that's me flap. Maths is not my strong point. So 5 and 10. And then for the flap that comes over, it's this is in inches, so this is every, I think, 1/8 of an inch. Oh, missed one. Come on. This is every 1/8 of an inch until you get to the end. Oh, I've gone too deep on that. It's difficult to know how deep you should go. Now I figured if I have enough of an overhang, by the time I've stuck all the stuff in there. Now these ones for the flap don't need to be too deep, they are just to make sure it bends round. That's got it. Oh, I've missed one again. That one. The one in the middle does, because that's the one that you're going to be bending. Oh, I know. I always make a mess on the back. So, that will go like that, and then this, because of all the bends on it, will then fold around like that. Yay! Very reminiscent of the pre-made folios that you can buy. My high-tech gadget, my clothes pegs, which, if I take that off for a minute, and then that will put on there, and then just put that plenty of room. Ooh, I've gone too deep. Right, ignore that, that's for me. So that's how it will go. Now if you want to skip this bit, feel free to. I am just going to poke holes in everything, just so my insides together. Actually, I need to thread needle. Let's grab a needle. I think that was a Tim Holtz little one of the little distressing things. We never got used for that. Right, so thread. If you already know this bit, as I said, fast forward. I do mine 3 times the length. You can do it 2.5. I find 3 times gives me enough to play with and stops me running out. Okay. Oh, is this where you find out you need extra strong glasses? Right, thread done. Now I have a little gadget. I have tried to find them, but they don't. The shop doesn't sell them anymore on Etsy, which is where this one came from, off Etsy. Sorry if I keep looking up. I'm just checking I've got everything in the camera. Right, I have my. So that one's moved. So in this is a combination of, I've got watercolour paper, I have got mixed media paper, and I've got some really cheap watercolour paper. Hence why it looks grey rather than, oh, that is right. So, that's about where I want it. I find that my super duper high-tech peg does the job beautifully. Except I now can't find my oh, I don't know. Super sharp pokey thing. Right, I am going to have to move this, so I do apologise if my head suddenly appears. These ones I tend to do by eye, so one in the middle. And then I know these are my shortest bits, so I do it about 1 inch down. One there. And then, yeah. About one there. Have I come through? Yes, I have. The other thing I meant to say was on the other book that I did, oh, that's something, it started to crack a bit on the seam. I wonder if that's because it's quite thick card. I put a top coat on the other one. And I suppose, do you know what it's all about? I was going to stamp it. Oh, missed the centre page. But I think that would be just as easy to do with laying it flat. No, I've come the wrong way. Do you know what? I'm sewing this like I sew my books together. and it isn't one of my books. Right, now this is where I go slightly off piste. There we are, through there. Through that one. This is still coming up. Back through that one. And then back through the centre. Just need, it makes life a lot easier if you have your threads on opposite sides. So that one's there, and that one will come up this side. That is nice and tight. And then, then when you're sat here and you're listening to the radio and you're doing your books, you can do it without thinking about it. You do it on camera and you think, ah, really? Did I really just do that? Nice and tight. And then you have a really quick, really easy notebook. It's well, this for me will be my art journal. I can practice along with Paris, and I think, going to stamp on that. Let me just grab, so I don't get my background. This is actually this grey thing is actually a pastry sheet. It's brilliant. I mean, I've got my stamps, Blooming Garden Penny Black, these ones. They are, I know the baking sheets are good, and which is what I use now for all the paints and what have you, because they clean up. I have been getting used to stamping everything in black. So, what do we think? Oh, I think that could probably go about there. And then whether it's my ink, whether it's my paint, but it seems to react to it. And this one is from Caravel Studio. I love this little chap. Sometimes he doesn't stamp out particularly brilliantly, but I'm figuring that's probably the way I'm. I've never had a stamp that did that before. Make sure I've got ink on everything, because I think sometimes I miss ink. Oh, joy. Right, this little chap can go down, what do we reckon? About there. Bearing in mind that half of this flower is going to get covered up to begin with. Oh, yes. There. So, yes, I will clean my stamps in a moment when I've cleared up my mess. Let's see if my... oh, it does as well. I've never done like solvent ink, so, you know, stuff that is not water soluble. But yes, that's cleaned off my matte treat. Right, now at the moment, he looks like he's floating in thin air. Seal, do pastel seal. So let's just put a bit of a background going on. It is supposed to be my art journal. So these are the bits I really enjoy doing. And then this little boy. And that ink's still a bit wet, so I won't put too close to him. There we go. Very quick, very easy. For me, this is an art journal. It can be whatever you want it to be. A notebook, your Christmas planner, decorated in different colours. Although saying that, a non-traditional Christmas planner is never a bad thing. And I have loads of room now to fill that up and do what I want with it. I'm really pleased with that. I might decorate the back at some point. Maybe, possibly. Who knows? Right, have fun, enjoy, something quick, something easy, and not particularly expensive. Well, I should imagine most of us have got cereal boxes or bits of cardboard, or even an A4, just a well, for me A4, a plain piece of card. That's what I made all the other covers out of. There we are. Brilliant. Thanks very much for watching. You take care, and I'll speak to you all later. Bye.